pole pole, which means slowly, slowly. Let's rock and roll. I'm huffing and panting. It's quite an exercise. It's a big one. I feel like I'm in Venice.
So this is the ghost crab.
Look at that. Look at that.
Watamu has a hidden gem, which is Mida Creek. Day 3 at Watamu, we decided to take off to explore this place. It took us about 45 minutes to reach there from our residence. We needed to take tickets at the counter to enter this reserve.
So we had to deposit our shoes, chappals at the counter there, and wear a fresh pair of Crocs that are lined up behind me. And I've been fortunate to find a size that's just right. And here are my new pair of shoes to walk through Mida Creek.
We kind of just don't fit.
Cool, isn't it? So here begins our adventure for today. Mida Creek it is. So we have our tour guide with us, Mohammed, who's going to give us a small briefing as to how to find our way through the Mida Creek.
Canoe take us along the side of the main channel. Yeah. We'll have a long ride, and then we'll finally crossing other side. Okay. Yeah, and then we'll explore nice channel, mangrove channel inside to see crabs and other kind of snails or mollusks in the mangrove forest. This guy here is called the fiddler crab, the name of this, fiddler, like a man play guitar.
So this is a male, is it?
A male with bigger and small claw.
Can I touch it?
And it's moving aside way. But fiddler crab is a friendly crab.
It's friendly, is it? It's a cute one.
Crab moving aside way.
Oh, Vijay! What you see here is a mangrove nursery because these days people have become so aware and they have understood the relevance and the importance of having mangroves and sustaining them as a part of our ecosystem. Now here what they do is they grow these plants and then they take it to their creeks and plant it there because in a big way mangroves prevent soil erosion. They also help laying of eggs of the fish. Later on they kind of go back to the ocean as they grow, but this is so important to our nature and the preservation of our nature that now people have realized the value of it and they are cultivating or maybe having a nursery to grow these trees till the point that they can be planted elsewhere in their own creeks or the marshy lands. This is where the board walking begins, and I believe it's some kind of a suspended bridge. So we are going to kind of rock and roll our way to the mangroves.
You can hear it.
This is the fun part which we need to go through pole pole, which means slowly, slowly. Only 2 people at a time, and let's rock and roll. There you go. Dhanya and Adi are on the bridge, and the next turn is mine and Vijay's. Gosh, I'm huffing and panting. It's quite an exercise. Walking through these unsteady planks of wood suspended on ropes. Shaky, 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 all the way. You can see that the floor is completely covered with mollusks and shells, which you have to step on to reach the canoe way ahead out there. Finally, the sun is behind the clouds. It's not too hot. and there's a nice breeze blowing. This place is good fun to walk, and it is certainly worth a visit. You must come to the place, Mida Creek in Watamu. It is an unbelievable sight. All the marshy land ahead of you, the white skies, and the boat ride. Everything is magical about this place. You must come here. We're almost midway, and now we need to walk quite a bit to reach our canoe. Let's get going.
Some of gold, the open hole for the sun level. We have one.
It's a big one.
Fascinating. No, they grow this big.
Really?
Yeah.
We have reached the canoe, and it's time for our boat ride.
You share with
So the brown wooden one is my canoe, the tiny one. Well, I don't even have a life jacket. Let's see.
Hakuna matata,
Hakuna matata,
nchi ya kupendeza,
hakuna matata.
yote mwakaribishwa Kenya yetu.
Hakuna matata. Malaika means enjoy.
Enjoyment, yes. Malaika is an angel.
I feel like I'm in Venice with the boatsman singing this lovely song. Anyways, we are heading to an island now, and this island is in the middle of the creek, and there are people living there. No schools, just people and their homes. So we're going to visit that island now. We are right in the middle of the creek. We are in the deeper part of the creek now. We can't see the bottom, and the water is really, really deep. I can also sense the currents which are pushing us in a certain direction. It's a bit scary for me right now. I'm not much of a good swimmer, but I guess we'll cross this creek. Thanks to the oarsman here, our captain of the boat. So after a 30-40 minute ride, boat ride, canoe ride rather, all through the creek, the shallow waters and the deep end, we have finally reached the island, which is lush green and full of mangrove trees. We also got to see the ghost crab, which can be pretty painful if it bites you. There's a way to hold it, so he showed me how to hold it. Oh my god. We are now going to relax in the shade for a little while. God, it was so hot.
Mohammed showed us an easy way to plant mangrove trees. You just have to hold the seeds steady and throw them right into the ground like an arrow. And there you go, a new mangrove tree germinates out.
Kabisa.
Mida Creek is a saltwater tidal creek surrounded by extensive mangroves. There are a large number of migratory birds that can be seen here. It is also a feeding and breeding ground for various species. Mida Creek is an international bird sanctuary, and together with Arabuko Sokeke Forest forms an UNESCO biosphere reserve.
highlight of this trip was the peace and the tranquility that I experienced within the mangrove forest. It was all so quiet, so green, so cut off from the world. Now we are heading back to where we started. We are in the channel right now, in the creek, and we are slowly making our way back to where we started. The canoes have left us there, and now we have to wade our way back to our starting point. I've got to be very careful because it's kind of undulating ground. You could perhaps twist your ankle, which I almost do every time I have to navigate through surfaces like this. So full on concentration. We have to slowly make our way through these waters and get all the way out there. You know, when I started this trip, I never imagined it would be something like this. I had no clue what I was signing up for, and it was spectacular. I have never seen a landscape like this before. I've never seen mangroves up as close and personal as this before. I haven't seen mud banks that extend way into the creek. It was a splendid morning. It was beautiful.
But now it was time to wrap up and leave for our hotel. The next morning we were to leave Watamu. We'll see you soon at the next destination where we explore a whole new place, and I guess it's going to be Lake Naivasha.